When did you get into astrology? Was it did you just decide one day, I'm going to get into this and apply it to sports, or did these two interests happen kind of organically?
Yeah, pretty much organically. Ever since I was in elementary school, I would read the daily horoscope, look up my sign, and I started looking at traits and, everything about my sign, right? And then I got curious of who do I match with? Who am I compatible with? And I started connecting two and two here and there. But eventually it evolved into kind of understanding more about it. I do have an autistic brother who's 2 years younger than me, who's nonverbal. So, me and him would always have these little conflicts and, when we were younger. So I've always tried to understood him. I took a step back and kind of gave another perspective. Hey, what if I understand his sign? Is that something that maybe that can help me understand him better? So I started doing that and I started reading up on his sign. I started realizing there's a lot of similarities to the energies compared to what I've read. And from that standpoint, it kind of grew into an even more curiosity into everything. So I started just analyzing just the people around me in a subtle way, and also the relationships I've been with and why it did work and why it didn't work. And there was just a lot of trials, or, errors or whatever it is. And that's sort of how I gained my experience, quote unquote. 30 years of knowledge and understanding and reading and even sort of that experiencing what's surrounding me. Even when I played sports, I started connecting pieces here and there, and I started analyzing other teams that we played against, for example, and I started just kind of realizing, hey, what if? Just the what if. And then in sports, NBA in particular, it grew upon me around the 2017-18 season.
Okay.
I'm a Houston Rockets fan where Chris Paul came into the picture, and a lot of people were saying, hey, it's not going to fit because he's going to be a ball dominant player with James Harden. But then I looked at their sign. Okay, Chris Paul's a Taurus, James Harden's a Virgo. You know what? I think it's going to work. But it was just a question, right?
Hmm.
And sure enough, when I did my research and I looked up their whole roster, their whole team was compatible in a sense where I started kind of creating this theories, right? And over the years, I've sort of refined some of those theories and made it a little bit to a point where you know, everything started connecting. So that's sort of when it started, 2017, 18 season, when I started creating my own database for astrology.